with a very good comparison and what I would call an objective assessment of his performance. 8 years before Arakunrin Akeredolu became the governor of Ondo State, my local government, Ose local government, and in particular Ifon, my town, which is the headquarters of the local government, was completely neglected. We never had anything good. Coming to health development, we are really blessed by the government of Arakunrin Akeredolu. Ose local government headquarters has been located in Ifon for a very long time. But Ifon is an ancient town. The colonialists were based in this place. Unfortunately, we lack a general hospital. Since then, there has never been a general hospital in Ifon. What we had was a dispensary. Fortunately for us, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu gave us a listening ear. We tabled this before him. And today, the edifice is what you can see opposite Ekamaron Anglican Grammar School in Ifon here. He gave us a promise that he will give us a befitting general hospital. He told us then that, well, the state may not have the money, but he is willing and he believes that God will provide. And God has actually heard our prayers and his own prayers too, because the edifice is there for everybody to see, nearing completion. And it is the best in the whole of this area. It's a 3-story building with a lift. There is space for 100 beds, where we call it a 100-bed hospital. And that is much for us here. We are sure that that hospital will not serve Ifon people alone, the whole of this local government, and even the communities around us from Edo State, because most of them still come here to access basic health facilities. So the entire community is very grateful to Arakunrin Akeredolu for this. As I said earlier, generations, but we've never seen anything like that. And I am sure that whoever passes through that place or whoever visits the place will commend Arakunrin Akeredolu for for a good job, well done. In addition to that, he visited the site personally some times ago. And I would say, fortunately for us, it rained before he came in. And the road to that hospital is very bad. So fortunately, Arakunrin Akeredolu visited immediately after the rain. And he saw the problems. We did not put that before him. And his comment was, Kabiyesi, we can't give you a befitting hospital without a good road that will take your people to the hospital. My government will ensure that something good is done. That came from him, not even from me. He saw the problem and he promised to provide a solution. And today, I am happy to inform you, the engineers have moved to site. So to us, Governor Arakunrin Akeredolu is a blessing. And
a very good morning from this end, and welcome to another beautiful Friday morning. I can see some of the comments already. I can tell you I've been sleeping all day. I just woke up about almost some few hours back. I do take enough rest, but also, as you can see, we also have a lot of work to do. Torí pé a ní àsìkò. A lot of us have been sleeping for a very, very long time. And that is why some of us have been caught up with some of the things that is happening to Yoruba people. And the question is, should we remain silent, or should we cut down on our sleep pattern so that we can catch up with so many things that is happening around us, especially the ones that are very, very close to home? When we talk about home, So many people are scared. So many people are worried of going back home. Um, when they say come back home, so many times when we do program, so many people are always quick to say, why not come back home so that we can solve the problem together? But I can always tell them that I was home last year to cover the shit old election, and the result of that is probably some of what we are seeing happening to us today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the world you're joining me from. Like I said, um I do take a lot of rest. If I was a woman, even before this Odudua movement, my wife will always say, she would have thought maybe I'm pregnant because I sleep a lot. I can sleep any time of the day. It doesn't matter. The noise around me is a built in. But one thing also is the energy is different from everybody. Some people might not be able to hold the kind of energy that I have. But one thing I can tell everybody is this is not the time to sleep anyway. Oorun náà la ti ń sùn títí for 60 years, and now oorun yẹn ti wá kó bá gbogbo wa báyìí. Bó ṣe kó bá èmi ló kó bá ẹ̀yin. So should we continue to sleep, or should we also now say enough of the sleep, a time now to start asking those questions, those boiling questions, those questions that so many people refuse to ask the previous generation. Do you know why we are going through what we are going through now? It's because the previous generation before our own, I am in my 40s, so we refuse to ask those boiling questions. 50, 60, 70. We refuse because ẹ má disrespect wọn, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe ọmọlúàbí. Ọmọlúàbí yẹn nísìn ó ti fẹ́ kó bá gbogbo wa báyìí. Ṣẹ̀rí ọmọlúàbí tẹ́ ní ká máa ṣe yẹn, òun ló ti fẹ́ kó bá gbogbo wa báyìí nísìn. Everybody now is scared. Everybody is worried. Everybody wants to know who is the next person. To you, it might be like Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó dọ́dọ̀ mi. Àdúrà tá máa ń gbà náà nìyẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run yẹn, I like Ọlọ́run gan. Bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé àwa nìkan ni Ọlọ́run dá sáyé. Ẹ mọ̀ pé kò dáwọn ẹlòmíì, àwa lẹ káàárọ̀ òjíire nìkan lọ́lọ́run dá sáyé. So any little thing, Ọlọ́run la máa bẹ̀, Ọlọ́run la máa pè. Ọlọ́run tá wá ń pè yẹn, ṣé kò dá wa lóhùn ni? Èmi ń bi gbogbo wa ni. The God that we continue to call all the time, has he not answered our prayer? And I'm sure a lot of you now understand that this has got nothing to do with God. It's just that we, the people, have decided not to say so much. And now God is saying, ṣé bóun ti fún yín lọ́rọ̀ kẹ́ sọ? Ṣé òun lòun máa tún sọ̀kalẹ̀ láti wá bá yín sọ̀rọ̀? Òun fún yín lọ́rọ̀, òun fún yín lọ́pọlọ, òun fún yín ní ìmọ̀. What more can you ask for in terms of knowledge? And I keep saying it all the time. Every role will be different. Mine will be different from yours. Yours is going to be different from mine. But as long as we play that role to our best ability, then maybe we will be able to solve some of the problem that we are witnessing now. Some of us will always say, it doesn't concern me. At least I'm not living in Nigeria. But show wa da ki generation wa kó wá parẹ́. Once again, a very good morning. My name is Olayomi Koiki. A lot of you know me as Koiki Media. What do? We talk about things, we discuss about issues. We were doing our own little things. I was building my own empire. I have a dream, just like so many people as well. I was busy with my own life. This was part of what I was doing before. I look at what is happening around the world. We talk about it. We bring it to the fora. But the only thing that have changed now is we are talking about a Yoruba nation agitation. the self-determination of the Yoruba people. Is that too much to ask for? God never gives support to lazy people. You're quite right. I declare war on the 20th of October, right in the afternoon before the atrocity of the killing of our children. Go back and watch that video. Go on, it's on YouTube. The 20th of October, I, Olayomi Koiki, declare war. Are we not at war? Maybe not to you. So that means we are not at war. So until it gets close to your doorstep, you will then realize that maybe, just maybe, we are at war. But for now, we are not at war. I read a lot of comments. My video that we did about the school and compare with religion. Some people say maybe this boy is mad. I'm sure they're probably seeing what is happening now in the land. There's light, there's food. Look, if I want to live here for the next 40 years, so be it. I'll just be doing my own thing. But like I said, let me take you back a little bit. Like I was saying all the time, this time last year, I was doing something different from what I was doing now. But something must have pushed something so that we can tell our people the reality of what is coming. Some of you might disagree with us. It doesn't matter. God has spoken. It's left to our obas and our governors and the president to listen to what he's telling them before the table turns back to them. Èmi máa ṣe ìwọ̀nba tèmi lè ṣe. Bí wọ́n fẹ́nu mi, ó fi ń jáde ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Ìta bá sọ pé àwa kọ́ là ń sọ̀rọ̀, ẹ máa ní àríyẹ bọ̀bọ́ yẹn òwe kí ló dé, bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn kí ló dé ìwọ nìkan ní agídí ti fẹ́ pọ̀ jù. At least èmi ṣáà ṣe wà níbi tó yẹ pé security wà, comfort wà. A mọ̀ pé kò síbi tá wà láyé, Ọlọ́run nìkan ló ní ẹ̀mí. Àmọ́ àwa náà láti gbìyànjú láti make sure pé à ń secure ẹ̀mí yẹn. Ṣé àwa ń secure ẹ̀mí ní Nàìjíríà? The video I did this morning, they were putting advert for a missing cat. Pé ẹni tó bá sọ ológbò nù, ológbò should come and report. Ológbò là ń sọ yìí. Let me see if I can bring that video before I take you to what I was doing just before this whole agitation started about 6 months ago. And we appreciate those that have been doing it before us. And we continue to appreciate everybody, every one of us that continue to ask that the only way out now is let us get a Yoruba nation and then we can make life very meaningful for our people. This morning, I was able to show you this video. Let me show you again for those of you that probably did not watch it. Let me show you again. Ticket. Can you see that? So this is what the system that a lot of you don't understand in Nigeria. Kò ní láti morning. Kò ní láti báyàn kankan rojọ́. How are you? Kò ní láti báyàn kankan rojọ́. Kò ní láti báyàn kankan pariwo. Ó ti la tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì mọ́ nísìn. Ẹni tó ní mọ́tò yìí nísìn tó bá dé, a rí tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì. Ó sanwó kò sanwó. Òun àti ìjọba lọ́jọ́ máa fa wàhálà. A system that works will have to contain everything. Ìdí tí Nàìjíríà ṣe work ni pé arákùnrin nísìn ṣe rí pé òun ti ṣiṣẹ́ tiẹ̀. Èèyàn kankan ní láti bájà. Èèyàn kankan ní láti nà lẹ́gba. Ó ti la tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì mọ́. Èèyàn kankan ní láti fà láṣọ ya. So ìdí tí a ṣe and kí ni ìdí tọ́jú ṣe fún ní tọ́jú fẹ́ ni ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì. Ṣe rí ibi tó páàkì sí kò ní ṣe ibi tó yẹ kó páàkì sí. But òun ti lọ nísìn ṣe rí ó ti lọ́n tiẹ̀ civil enforcement kò sí ìtó kan. Kò báyàn kankan rojọ́. Kò báyàn kankan pariwo. Ó ti ṣiṣẹ́ tọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀ ó ti lọ. Màá wá sọ ìdí tó ṣe fún ẹni ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ṣe rí pé ẹni yẹn ti gba tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì nísìn. Ṣe rí tá bá ń sọ fún yín pé let me turn my camera around. Tá bá ń ṣàlàyé fún yín pé ìdí tí nǹkan ṣe ń work nílé is because we don't have a system. Until tá bá ní system nìkan máa rọrùn for everybody. Ẹni tó fún ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì nísìn tóun bá dé nísìn a rí tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn ó ti di dandan kó sanwó tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn. Ṣé rí tí kò bá sanwó tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn, wàá kọ́kọ́ fún ní 14 days grace. £60 ní tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì tó wà lára mọ́tò yẹn nísìn. £60 lẹ́ni yẹn máa san. £60 that person is going to pay for parking in the wrong place. I will show you why. Sherry, can you see the floor? Let me pause that video. When we talk about the system that works, it's the same system Luma protect Oba, not Luma protect Aran. The same system that protect the citizen will protect Olowo. Sherry, the same system that protect Talaka, Mekunu, or no Luma protect Olowo, but it's a reverse way in Nigeria. Abibeko. It is only in Nigeria that the system only favors few people. But those few people forgot that one day should be one day. Something will eventually lead to something. I was just an ordinary guy doing my own thing until something kicked in 6 months ago and start talking about Yoruba Nation. Some of you thought maybe I have a gain inside it. I was doing very well with what I was doing before, and I was building an empire. But something said, start talking to your people. Whatever it is, I don't know. But I just know that I started saying Yoruba Nation, Nigeria, and all of a sudden things started, changing every day. It's taking a lot of my time. I'm losing money, I know that. I'm losing weight, I know that. But am I doing something that will continue to wake your mind up? Yes, I'm doing so. You think it's going to be easy? No, nothing is going to be easy. But one thing I can tell you is, before I move this video forward, during this video I did this morning, or yesterday rather, you can see I was talking about the system. I was now approaching this area. I will mute my mic again, and I want us to watch this beat. Before I go again, because I haven't got time this morning, can you see that? The question is, how many of your family have got lost? Do you have a number? Do we have anybody looking for them? Do you know how many people are missing in Nigeria as we speak right now? Boko Haram is kidnapping people. Fulani people are killing you. Do you know how many people Fulani has killed? Do you know how many people is in the captive's hand of the Fulani people? Let me pause that. This was in the morning. Hear me very well. I mean, it's already yesterday now. Yesterday morning, I was saying that, do you know how many people Boko Haram has killed? Do you know how many people are being kidnapped? Not knowing that about few hours down the same day, we will be getting a breaking news of one of our monarchs that has been kidnapped and killed. Oba Adegoke Adewusi, the Olufon of Ifon under the Oshe local government area of Ondo State, has been murdered by gunmen suspected to be kidnappers. Oba Adewusi was killed on Thursday evening at the spot around Elegbede axis of the town. The question now is, let me rewind this back again. Was something telling us about this, or was it just me talking like I was doing every other day? Let's rewind this again. Go again, because I haven't got time this morning. Can you see that? The question is, how many of your family have got lost? Do you have a number? Do we have anybody looking for them? Do you know how many people are missing in Nigeria as we speak right now? Boko Haram is kidnapping people, right? It's going to be. So this is what a lot of you, go again, because I haven't got time this morning. Can you see that? The question is, how many of your family have got lost? Do you? The question I was asking every one of you yesterday was, how many of your family are missing? They are advertising on this advert there, on the tree, RSPCA. Animal was found. Pé àwọn rí ẹranko tó ń pè ní cat, ológbò. Ológbò tí wọ́n máa pè ní Nàìjíríà pé ológbò ìyá àjẹ́. Òun làwọn wọ́n sọ pé àwọn rí. Tẹ́ni tó bá wá ní kó jọ kó pe nọ́mbà yìí. The number is even free number. The question was, I did not see that at the evening of the same day, we will lose one of our first-class monarchs in Ondo State, in a Yoruba land, by kidnappers. Wọ́n tẹ̀ wá ṣàánú kábíyèsí, kọ́ tẹ̀ wá kidnap, kọ́ béèrè owó, ká gbówó fún wọn, kọ́ bá wa release kábíyèsí wa, ṣe lọ́ bá wa pa, àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́. So you heard me speaking in the morning, not knowing that in the night of the same day, one of our monarchs would be killed. Mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàbọ̀. Let's play that video again. Have a number? Do we have anybody looking for them? Do you know how many people are missing in Nigeria as we speak right now? Boko Haram is kidnapping people. Fulani people are killing you. Do you know how many people Fulani has killed? Do you know how many people is in the captive's hand of the Fulani people? Now, this country is even... Now, just after I was speaking, we now got the news. I was waking up at about a few hours when I saw this news. Suspected kidnappers killed Ondo first-class monarch in a Yoruba land. Now, let me come back to this area. Do you know that the area have always been a kind of threat before? I will show you some of the few things I pulled up while I was preparing for this. Let's come back to Osun State. This news was some few years back. This was on the 1st of October 2020, and this was by OsunDefend.com. Security compromise threaten Osun resident well-being. Anxiety over sudden influx of the northerners into Osun borders. We will be fortified with involvement of Amotekun Corps. Government police boss issued stamp warning to officers by Ismail Uthman. The porous condition of borders between the state of Osun and the adjoining state, resulting from compromise by security agents, is beginning to take let me take that again. The porous condition of borders between the state of Osun and the adjoining state, resultant from compromise by security agents, is beginning to take a threatening toll on the well-being of the people of the state amidst coronavirus pandemic and its debilitating effect. Osun Defender noted that there has been unchecked inflow of people from the state infected with the novel virus of the state of the Osun. So as they were talking about the influx of the people coming in, they were also talking about the serious concern, the huge influx of people from the northern part of Nigeria and the neighboring Ondo, Oyo, Kwara into Osun might result to grave implications for the health. So they were not talking about, they were talking about the health, but only Latin May, TTDC, how many times? May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So down the line, yesterday, a suspected kidnapper killed an Ondo first-class monarch inside a Yoruba town, a Yoruba village. So my question is, let's ask each other, are we not at war? Are we not at war? Are we not at war? Once again, a very good morning. Who is next to be kidnapped and killed? Are you? Me? Hello? Who is the next person to be kidnapped? Let's play this video.
Traditional rulers of Efon and Ilobo have agreed to give peace a chance.
Well, this followed a peace accord signed by the two at a meeting held at the instance of the state governor, Gboyega Oyetola. Rafiu Hamid reports.
For many years, Ifan and Ilobu have been at loggerheads over land disputes. The crisis led to the death of some people in 2005 and was later resolved. But the crisis seems to be rearing its ugly head in the last few weeks, which is now creating tension. This peace meeting is at the instance of Governor Gboyega Oyetola. It was attended by the State Commissioner of Police and top government functionaries. The traditional rulers later signed a peace accord.
Tell my community, inshallah, there's no problem in Ilobu and Ifan again now. From having signed a verbal undertaking with the Excellency and the entire people of the Sioux State, there is no going to be any loss of life and property any longer. Be rest assured.
Violators of the peace accord will now be dealt with accordingly.
But I must commend the KBCs for.
Once again, a very good morning to you and welcome. Let's read these. Suspected kidnappers killed Ondo first-class monarch. According to the story, suspected kidnappers have reportedly killed a first-class traditional ruler in Ondo State, the Olufon of Ifon in Oshe Council area of the state, Oba Israel Adewusi. According to the story, meanwhile, the mother of the monarch was coming few hours after the Inspector General of Police, Mahmoud Adamu, visited the state to assess the destruction and looting of police stations during the NSAS protest. So even with the Inspector General of Police visiting Ondo State, there's still no security to protect lives and property. Then I come back here again and let's hear more from this. Those that have lost their animal, a cat, can you see that? Cat. And I'm sure some of you donate money to RSPC, but this is part of what they do. So if you've lost your animal, you call that number and they'll look for it. So let me now explain this to you again. When we say to you that Nigeria will never work, because the moment all these systems are put in place, people will stop asking questions. Now, can you see that? So can you see? Right? Parking suspension, no loading between 18th of November because they might have to do a gas work. And this is what they don't want you to enjoy. This is what they lie every day, like that man, Lai Mohammed, right? Can you see? This is another, most time when there's an event, you are not allowed to park in this area. Can you see that? Can you see that? Right? Now, look up again, and we always say there's a crime in UK as well. Criminals, be aware. You are now entering an area where premises are forensically protected by smart water. Now, let me pause that and come back again. While I was showing you one area, one local government, so that means the whole of Ifon, do you know that they cannot find any CCTV to pinpoint on those that committed the crime? Those that have killed the first-class king in the Yoruba land, we don't know where they are. We don't know where they've been to now. And everybody will probably tomorrow will start praying again to God. Or no, not to mark the they will go morning again and they will speak to God for God not to allow such thing to happen again in the Yoruba land. Abibeko. So many questions that need to be unraveled. But in Nigeria, since they don't want anybody to ask questions, so everybody is just like Mugusu. Everybody just keep quiet. Nobody's asking any question. Even though the Inspector General of Police was in Ondo State, they could not even give enough security to protect the state while he's there, and maybe about 2 days after he has gone. but yet we lost one of the monarchs. According to Vanguard, gathered that the monarch attended the monthly meeting of the State Council of Obas in Akure and was returning to his domain when he was attacked by the kidnappers. So the king was not spared. His life was taken by the same people that have been taking the lives of average Nigerians for a very, very long time. What has the king done in the past, maybe to address this problem? What has the king done to ask questions to the governor of Ondo State? But rather, in this video that I just played earlier, the king was happy with what Akeredolu, that they call Aketi, has done so far in the state.
Arakure Akeredolu has been able to do in less than 3 years. We'll be able to come out with a very good comparison and what I would call an objective assessment.
The king says an objective assessment, but the king maybe never spoke about the insecurity of the lives of the average people living in Ifon. But the king never knew that one day he will be returning back from a monthly meeting that he has done for a very, very long time until yesterday, death came to him as well. Ìbéèrè tí mo wá ń béèrè nísìnyí ni pé ṣé nígbà tí kábíyèsí máa jáde ṣé wọ́n mọ̀ pé àpẹẹrẹ tẹ̀lé sọ fún wọn pé nǹkan kan máa ṣẹlẹ̀ o, ṣé wọ́n tẹ ifá ni? Because these are the things that is meant to be done every day before our kings moved out of the palace from going out. Ó jẹ́ kí wọ́n ti béèrè lọ́wọ́ ifá kí kábíyèsí tó jáde pé ǹjẹ́ ó dá ní ẹ̀mí kémi jáde? Àbí? Maybe I'm wrong. Àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ló ṣe máa ń ṣe? So is it now that all our kings just wake up in the morning, they put on their agbada and they go out and nobody put Ifá before them to say, Kábíyèsí, ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ dí Ifá kẹ́ tó jáde? Is that not the way it's meant to be done? What has changed in the tradition? Is our tradition now something that we have disrespected? Let's read further. The king was returning back to Akure, to his domain in Ifon local government, when he was attacked and killed instantly by the kidnappers. It was learned that the gunmen who were hiding in the bush, if only the bush has been well secured, if only the bush have been well protected, if only the bush have been well kept away from hoodlums, kidnappers, the king would not have been killed. The gunmen were waiting in the bush along the highway. They attacked his vehicle at Elegbeka area. They shot severally at his vehicle in an attempt to stop the driver from fleeing. Report added that the monarch was hit by one of the bullets rained at his vehicle. Another source said that the kidnappers flagged down the monarch vehicle on the highway, but the driver was suspected foul play, attempted to escape, and they rained bullets on the vehicle. The source said the kidnappers were operating generally on the highway and the monarch unknowingly ran into them. Really? He was said to have been rushed to the Federal Medical Center in Owo. I'm sure they do not have a standard hospital to have taken care of our king that was now eventually killed. Let me Google this hospital. I'm sure this hospital, if only this hospital have the best equipment, maybe they would have taken care of the king. Maybe the king would have been alive. Let's see. Maybe we can get anything from this hospital. This was where the king was taken to. This was where the king was taken to. Federal Medical Center, Owo, in Ondo State. I'm sure if we go into this hospital, we probably will not be able to get anything out of it as well. My question then remains is, how did we get to where we are? There's a caller coming through. I'm going to give the caller a very quick one to come through, even though we've not opened the phone line. Yeah. Hello. I'm going.
Yeah, one put on Podu Benny, home for women in the air. ṣẹ́rí mo kọ́kọ́ fẹ́ sọ nǹkan kan ṣẹ́rí Aláàfin àti Ọ̀ọ̀ni àwọn náà máa kọ́rọ́ àgbákò yìí o ẹ̀kọ́ sílẹ̀ léde. So number 2 àwọn agbára àwọn bàbá wa tó wá ń wí yẹn tí kò sí mọ́ ni nítorí tó bá ń lọ àjò gbogbo orúkọ báyìí ló jẹ́ kó ní àwọn bí àfẹ́rí àwọn bí Ẹgbẹ́ tí oní Christian ló bá ń ṣe ni àbí kíndé sọ́ba òní orúkọ gbogbo nǹkan báyìí tó kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé àwọn agbára yẹn wọ́n ti fail. And nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ fún àwọn ará eré yẹn ni wípé ọjọ́ tá a bá rí ibi níbi ń wọlé let them march to the office of this man tó ń pè lákẹ́tì yìí ṣèbó òun ni governor south òun ni chairman south west governor tó bá ti ṣẹlẹ̀ láti bẹ̀yẹn kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní gbogbo àwọn ibi tó kù ọjọ́ tá a bá rí ibi níbi ń wọlé they must ask for their right. Ó ti tó kẹ́ àwọn èèyàn kan lè máa jókòó kó máa káwọ́ bọnú àgbákò rẹ̀ wá bá wọn nílé bẹ̀ wọ́n tẹ̀ ń wò ṣé Ọlọ́run ló fẹ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀ wá ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́ ni àbáwọn náà máa rọra wọn lọ́wọ́ gbogbo agbára tó ń láwọn ní yìí kí nídé tí wọ́n ṣe kó jáde that is the more reason why I don't believe in all this kind of agbára fún bàbá wa and àwọn èèyàn yìí tó bá kọ̀ wọ́n yẹ máa pa gbogbo wọn tó ń kọ̀ọ̀kan nìyẹn àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn wọ́n sì wà nù gómẹ̀ what is this government doing tó fẹ́ ó jẹ́ fẹ́ máa dúró de àwọn Àbújá Buhari tó yẹ pé gbogbo ọkọ̀ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ inú ẹ̀ ń dùn sí he planted all these things adẹ̀wò we need to remove all these governors àwa fúnra wa ní agbára wọn ṣe ọ̀gá wa náà àwa lọ̀gá wọn we voted for them and we don't want them we need to mobilize àwọn èèyàn that is what we need now èmi ò mọ ọkọ tó dé dáhùn èèyàn máa bẹ̀rù they are not our boss we are àwa la yàn wọ́n síbẹ̀ and we don't have to fear and be afraid of them nǹkan tí mo kàn ní kí n sọ ni ó wà discipline ó dẹ̀ wà very insulting láti pé kí irú ọbẹ̀ wọ́n wà tó tó lànà àni wọ́n they are not spirit.
ẹ ṣe gan ni. Well, once again, the question is, how did we get to where we are now? Èmi rò pé tí ọba bá máa jáde, ó yẹ kí ọba ti fura pé ó ṣeé ṣe kí irú nǹkan báyìí kó ṣẹlẹ̀, kí àwọn ìjòyè, kí ẹni tó máa tẹ ifá kó sọ fún kábíyèsí pé ìjáde tèmi ó dà ń pé ẹ̀ ní jáde yẹn. Àbí mi ni mò kàn ń dream pé tá a bá ń sọ pé a jẹ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ káàárọ̀ òjíire a dẹ̀ ní nǹkan lọ́wọ́. How did we get to where a first class king can just be killed by the kidnappers? I'm not talking about professional people that are well trained like the Navy SEAL and all that. Kidnappers that probably got a gun somewhere, there. And these people have not been found, and I'm sure they can never be found. My question now is, how did we get there? Again, just yesterday, robbers attack commercial bank, police station in Ondo State. The same Ondo State that killed the king. There was also another attack by the commercial bank and police station. Ṣé àtẹ̀wá ní gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì mọ́ rárá ni àbí báwo? We have another caller. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo gbọ́ yín dáadáa màmá wa, ẹ sọ pé kí ni mà?
Mo ní mo ṣọ́ pé ọba ń pè Ifá, nọ́mbà Ifá ò lọ ni.
Nọ́mbà Ifá ò lọ ni.
Àbẹ́ mo fá tó fi wọ́n jẹ, kí Tinubu ní fá tó fi wọ́n jẹ.
So nígbà tó wá pé fat yẹn kò wọ̀ get through, ó ti lọ voicemail.
Nọ́mbà ọ̀dọ́ ló jẹ́ kán jáde.
Kàbíyèsí ẹ̀.
Ṣé gbogbo wọn ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì Inshallah gbogbo wọn lò sí. So gbàdé nọ́mbà Ifá ò tí lọ ló jẹ́ kán bá jáde. Wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní títí TV cabinet tí wọ́n rìn mọ́ Nàìjíríà. Countries àwọn tó pa wọ́n láti bẹ̀. Ṣé pé mo sọ pé wọ́n máa pa wọ́n? Títí kò dẹ̀ sí cabinet tó máa fi jẹ́.
Bọ̀ wọ́n ní káyé máa sọ pé kó pọ̀ ọba àbí ìbí kan tó máa ń sọ ni wọ́n ní káyé máa sọ pé kó pọ̀ ọba.
Mr. Koiki, ẹ tó bá ní ìkà mẹ́wàá, á fi mẹ́jọ ṣera ẹ̀. Ìgbà tí wọ́n ti ń pa àwọn pálíkà, kí ló ṣe sí?
Ọ̀rọ̀ rèé o.
Kò sẹ́ni tó sọ kankan àbí.
Ọ̀rọ̀ rèé.
Ọba Fálàyé pariwo pé wọ́n kó ṣe oko àwọn kíníkan kìnìkan. Fúlàní sì máa jẹ ẹkùn Ọba Fálàyé fún ààrẹ. Wọ́n ń bọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀dá Sànjọ́ náà. Ìsọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọn fún wa. Wọ́n mú un láyé. Àtúntútù pẹ̀lú ọlọ́run ó yẹ̀ ọ̀dà. Ó gẹ̀rà ọ̀sùn. Ẹ ṣe máa dé tó.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni. Wọ́n ní káyé máa bú ọba, wọ́n ní ká má sọ̀rọ̀ sọba. Àmọ́ àwọn kidnappers ò máa respect ọba wa kẹ́. Kidnappers tó tẹ̀ sọ pé ọba ló ń bọ̀ yìí because ọba máa ní mọ́tò tó máa fi indicate pé mọ́tò tó ń bọ̀ yìí mọ́tò ọba ní ẹ jẹ́ kí yẹn máa lọ. Kidnappers did not think that this vehicle should be given respect and allow the vehicle to drive and look for the next victim, but rather they took our Oba. Now, let me quickly come back here again. Few things have opened up for us. Which area are we talking here? Ifon, Oshun. Okay, I think that's a different thing entirely. Let's come back here again. So many news have picked up the story in the last few hours. Like I said, I was sleeping. I woke up only to realize that there's so much news that is talking about the late king. And I asked myself, kí ló dé tí Ifá ò sọ fún bàbá wa nígbà tó máa jáde pé ó ṣeé ṣe kí in tó wà lójú ọ̀nà kò dáa? Ṣé a ní ògùn mọ́ni nílẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjíire? What has happened to all our tradition? Somebody should have informed the king that ọ̀nà yẹn ò dáa láti jáde. The question now is, how long do we have to wait for the next victim? Who is the next victim? Let me remind you again what I was doing before the whole out of this Yoruba nation. This was my visit to Istanbul on the 22nd of November last year. Let's watch just a little clip of it.
A very good afternoon to you from Istanbul in Turkey. And this is a live broadcast just to show a lot of you another view right here in Istanbul. I could tell you, Turkey, it's already an emerging economy, whether we like it or not. Turkey is doing very well because they do quite a number of different things, and the world comes to them.
Now, this, as you can see in this video, a very remote part of Turkey, Istanbul. Every access in that area have electricity. They have CCTV. If any crime is committed in this area, somebody will pick it up from somewhere. Somebody will be able to pick it up and trace it. The question now is, who is going to help us to trace the death of our king, a first-class monarch in Ondo State? Ta ló máa bá wa wá ibi tí ikú bàbá yìí? Àwọn wo ló ṣe jàǹbá fún wa báyìí? Ṣáwa la ṣe jàǹbá fúnra wa àbí àwọn Fúlàní náà ni? Or is it just another crime that went wrong? Or bá mo ṣe fẹ́ lo òyìnbó yẹn? You know, sometimes things they can say the king was at the wrong place at the wrong time. Ẹ mọ̀ fún kọ́tà máa ń sábà sọ ní àwa Yorùbá. Ikú yẹn yéé. Ibi tó lọ yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ pé kò lọ ni. We pretend. But the issue now is, what have been done to give adequate security in Ondo State prior to yesterday? This afternoon, remember, we started talking about our House of Assembly. We never knew later in the night when I was sleeping, I woke up to find the news all over the place that one of the first-class monarchs in the Yoruba land kidnapped, killed. Tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé wọ́n wá tẹ̀ gbé kábíyèsí lọ nísìn, àbá ní ẹ fún wa ní fígọ̀ èyí tẹ́ fẹ́ ká fi release kábíyèsí. Some few weeks back, Ìyálọ́jà of Ondo State as well was kidnapped. Ẹ ti gbàgbé. So Ondo State has become the den of either criminals or Fulani, something between either the Fulani àbí àwọn Yorùbá ló ń ṣe. Who is doing this? Is it the Fulani? Is it the Igbo? Is it the Hausa? Or who has become terrorizing our people in Yoruba land? We are in a big mess as Yoruba people. But our House of Assembly, I'm sure ìmí ò tẹ̀ ní mọ̀ pé wọ́n ti pa kábíyèsí, ó lè wà lórí obìnrin kan, ó lè wà níbi tó ti ń ṣe fàájì tó ti mú pepper soup, because they are not living in that remember we started with Lagos House of Assembly and we're going to be moving from one state to the other. We were looking at the Lagos House of Assembly for the broadcast we did this afternoon, or yesterday rather. How do we come out of this problem? Another election? Remember, this same king gave a support to Aketi in this video. Let's play that video one time.
Of his performance. 8 years before Arakunrin Akeredolu became the governor of Ondo State, my local government, or said local government, and in particular Ifon, my town, which is the headquarters of the local government.
Look at the area that the king has been managing. Look at the environment. Have you seen anything like CCTV? Can you say that this place is secured for the people to live? Can you say categorically that this is the standard that the king must have seen outside the country? You can see why we are all in a big mess. It will get worse before it gets better. The caller here. Ṣé pé wàhálà ti dé báyìí? Ẹ̀yin wo agbègbè yẹn. Look at the environment. That is what they've turned a Yoruba land to. Can you say that building, all this building you are seeing, they have water, they have electricity, they have adequate security? How come the king did not even have mobile police? Does the king not? I thought the king normally have their own, mobile security as well. What happened? So don't we have Amotekun that can go along with our king, fully prepared for any eventuality? What has gone wrong in the Yoruba land? So who is saying that we should wait for another election? Who wants us to go for another election? Yeah, it's when it turns to the king that those useless news of Nigeria making noise. What about innocent people? Let me remind you some of the innocent people that have been killed recently. Kidnapping is a big problem in that country called Nigeria. Kidnap in Nigeria. Let's look at quickly some of the people that have been kidnapped recently. Let me first look at this article. Kidnapping in Nigeria, a growth industry. And this was article on the 29th of May this year. And the story is like this. When talking to Nigerians about insecurity, especially those that live in Lagos-Ibadan corridor, Abuja and Port Harcourt, some of the most developed parts of the country, the first thing they often raise is their fear of kidnapping specifically and crime more generally. For them, kidnapping is far more immediate than the carnage of Boko Haram. My question is, this article that I'm just reading now was in May 29, 2020. Is it not the same thing? That people are more scared of being kidnapped, killed, than being killed by Boko Haram. And this is what this article was saying, only on the 29th of May this year. Far away in the northeast, or the carnage in the middle belt over land and water use, between farmers and elders, in the oil patch and Port Harcourt, kidnapping is often seen as a manifestation of the ongoing low-level insurrection over how oil revenue is distributed. In the past, kidnapping victims tended to be wealthy and prominent, and so kidnappers had every interest in keeping their victims alive to extract the maximum ransom possible. Was it something that went wrong? Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ kidnap ọba wa ni, or they wanted to kill the king? Which of it? Was the king about to be killed, or it was just something that they wanted to kidnap, ask for money, but something went wrong, the bullet came in and hit the king, and Ajesara was not there? I thought we had saying that we have Ajesara. Ṣé ọba ò tún ní àjẹsára mọ́ ni? So the king do not have àjẹsára. I am asking all this question. The number is +4475 94050 For those of you that knows the number, let's hear your view. +4475 94050 Ṣé kábíyèsí ò ní àjẹsára ni àbí báwo? I thought all our king is meant to be protected by our tradition. Àbí ọlọ́jọ́ ti pé ni? What went wrong when we lost a first-class monarch? What has gone wrong in the Yoruba land? How do we solve this problem? +4475 94050 Ṣé kábíyèsí ò jẹ àjẹsára kí kábíyèsí tó jáde nílé ni àbí báwo? My last caller said kábíyèsí was unable to get through to Tinubu. I don't know. I thought kábíyèsí was meant to have Ifá oracle right in the palace. Tọ́mọ máa dífá fún ọba lójoojúmọ́ kọ́ba tó jáde. How did we get here? How did we get here? Like I said, while I was doing my own thing last year, this again was a visit to Istanbul. Let's watch this a little bit.
At the conference yesterday, and I was listening to Chris Grant, the British trade envoy to Turkey, and he was giving us some numbers and statistics of some of the trade between United Kingdom and Turkey, which is in their billions of pounds. We do have a number of Turks that lives in the United Kingdom, but one thing I can tell you is this is where we should be looking at in terms of production and making sure we can engage in business. But for doing business,
when we talk about insecurity, the security of our people have become a big threat to everyone. Let's come back to this article again. According to the report from the SB Morgan, a Nigerian consulting firm, using data gathered from a variety of open sources, including the Council of Nigerian Security Tracker, shows that over time, the pool of potential victims has greatly expanded. Now, victims are often poor villagers, sometimes kidnapped indiscriminately, a departure from the target kidnapping of wealthy people. Ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ kidnap kábíyèsí láti fi gbowó ni, and then it went wrong? I'm asking the question. Was it that they wanted to collect money? They wanted to kidnap the kábíyèsí, but the driver of the kábíyèsí refused to stop. And now, kábíyèsí have died right in Ondo State. He didn't die in the north, in the southeast. He died in Ondo State, the Yoruba land. The question is, how much more do we have to wait before the next person is killed? It's not the first time people are killed, being kidnapped. But let's come back to this article. This is becoming a big time money. According to report, also present valuable attempt to quantify the cost of kidnapping and to map its spread between 2011 and 2020. It concluded that over $18 million had been paid in ransom. The amount of ransom accelerates in latter portion of that period. Between 2016 and 2020, around $11 million was paid out. The question is, was Kábíyèsí about to be kidnapped for ransom, or was it target to be killed? Who? How? How are we going to find the killer of this Kábíyèsí? Are we going to ask the oracle to give us the insight of those that killed our king? Is the government going to tell us? Is the governor going to tell us? Is the House of Assembly in Ondo State going to debate this tomorrow as a priority? Or they'll probably say, since the king have died, we can get another king and we all move on? These are boiling questions a lot of people are asking tonight. This is a late night broadcast. My name is Olayomi Koiki. I welcome you all. Late night broadcast as we continue to review some of the atrocity happening in Nigeria. Do you remember these? I always show you all the time. I think it's on one of my scenes. Who remember these? Global Terrorism Index, number 3, below Iraq and Afghanistan. So when some of you, diaspora, or those of you at home, taba sọ pé Nigeria ò ní security, and shut up, come back home. What do you know? You don't know anything. Do you know that your country, that shit hole country, is number 3 when it comes to Global Terrorism Index? Good morning to you, Freedom Force. All our Obas in Yoruba land are now born again king. They're all forgotten the forefathers' tradition and culture. That is why. Our king was just taken out like that in 2020. Good morning to those of you that have joined. Good afternoon to some part of the world like New Zealand, Japan, Australia. Good morning exactly to those of you in Dubai, UAE. Good night to those of you in Europe. Happy Thanksgiving. I picked up something from one of our brothers on Facebook, and let me read that. I'm sure if a lot of you follow him, there's tendency that you must have also seen the same article. Nigeria is boiling. Nigeria is at war, but people do not understand that we are already at war. What took place is part of what should be something that everybody should come out and fight for. But do we care? Do we bother? No. Everybody cannot be bothered because it hasn't concerned them yet. Until it concerns you, that is when you will understand what we are talking about. I'm going to put this article quickly. I'm going to read it. And then we will then ask more questions. Who is behind the killing of Kabiyesi? Who has killed our king in the Yoruba land? Is it a curse? What has gone wrong? Who are those behind it? Are they Fulani or are just ordinary guys? Let me bring you this article that was just posted some few hours ago by one of our scholars. I'm sure a lot of you know him. I'm going to read that in a minute. I appreciate those of you that are still with us at these early hours of this morning. Those in the US are probably getting ready to go to bed. Why those in UK? Some of them will be waking up to hear that the king in Ondo State has been killed. This is what he has to say. Moyo Okediji. Happy Thanksgiving. Is it merely a coincidence that the news of the adoption and the assassination by suspected Fulani invaders of Oba Israel Adeusi, the Olufon of Ifon, happened the same day that United States is celebrating the annual Thanksgiving event, question mark. Hear this again. There is no coincidence in history. Nature times things with organic orchestration. The kidnapping and execution of a Yoruba monarch on Thanksgiving Day is a proverb to all Yoruba people. The warning is simple. It says in clear times that Yoruba people will go into extinction on their own land, just as the Native Americans have vanished with hardly any trace from their own land. Just as the Native Americans are now called Indians, the Yoruba people will no longer be called Yoruba. They will be given a Fulani nomenclature, and their land will be named Wahab in terms of geographical location, say Southwest Nigeria. Just as the language of the Native Americans have also vanished, so with the Yoruba language and their deities vanished and confined to obscure romantic ceremonies, such as the Native American POW WOW event that we used to host when I was a curator at the Devon Art Museum. During the POW WOW ceremonies, we at the Devon Art Museum, we rally up the local Native Americans, invite them to the museum ground where they would dress in exotic feathers and leathers and dance to strange movement, beating peculiar single stroke beat on European American drums. It is not right to blame the victims, otherwise one would claim that the Native Americans had opportunities to unite and resist the invasion and the colonization of their land by the immigrant Europeans at various stages of their conquest. But they did not come together. Each group, such as the Opi, Cherokee, Ojibwa, and Chippewa, had leaders who failed to save their people from being crushed by invaders with clear colonizing purposes and focused violent tactics. The rest is history today. Is Thanksgiving in America. It is a celebration of a successful alienation of the Native Americans from their land, the renaming of the land in Eurocentric terms, and the nomenclature of the indigenous owners as Indians. The Yoruba people still have an opportunity to retain their land and ward off the Fulani invaders. Every passing day presents an opportunity lost to fight back and send back the invaders. The shocking news of the violence of the Olufon of Ifon is devastating, demoralizing to the Yoruba people. It also presents a good reason to rally the people to bury their differences, understand the gruesome reality of their invasion, protect the safety of their people, their land, their language, and their values before they are wiped off the face of the earth, only to become a footnote in the record of history. If you do not understand what my brother there is saying, if care is not taken, our history will not be there anymore because we all are sleeping and we've allowed the Fulani to invade us just the same way our king was killed yesterday in Ondo State. Once again, my name is Olayomi Koiki and I welcome each and every one of you. Yes, the line is open +447594050979. Yeah, we're taking calls. We had few calls already. +447594050979. WhatsApp only. Let's hear your view on what is happening in our town, in Ondo State, in our city, where we've just lost another monarch. And a first-class one. How much more do we have to wait? He's not the first person that has been kidnapped and killed, but let me remind you, we lost somebody recently as well. Okay, we have Baba Frank Bello. He's from Ondo State, and I'm sure he knows the man very well as well. Ekabo Soyeto, and good morning to you. Welcome to the show.
Let me hang on. Let me first put my call onto 0.
Okay.
Okay, I've done that. You are not expecting that I'm going to call Koiki.
Oh yes, but I know you are a late sleeper, just like myself. So.
Yeah, I've been talking to a lot of people in Owo, Ifon, all day. When this news broke out, and don't be surprised. It is expected that they will start killing all the kings. And as a matter of fact, when this Oba was killed, I have a friend who is from the same place the king came from.
Okay.
And the first thing I said to my friend, I will mention his name, Julius Amukeli. We've been talking. And I said, Ibo ni agbára ọba gbé wà? Why tí ọba ò ṣe sọ pé àwọn tó fẹ́ pa òun kan wọlé àbí kí ó lo agbára òrìṣà? Then my friend said, ọba àwọn tí wọ́n pa ẹ̀, ọba tó jẹ́ pé ọba ṣẹlẹ̀ ni, kò believe nínú àṣà àti òrìṣà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So wọ́n ní wọ́n mú lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé kí ni kò believe nínú àṣà àti òrìṣà. Èmi jẹ́ èèyàn kan tó jẹ́ pé ọmọ ìbílẹ̀ ni mí. Gbogbo nǹkan tó wà ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tá lè lò láti fi ṣe agbára ilé tó ti bí èmi mọ gbogbo ẹ̀ o. Mo sọ fún ọ̀rẹ́ mi ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo ní eku asín, ewúro, and as a matter of fact, ọ̀rẹ́ mi yẹn ó ní kidney problem. Èmi gangan mo ń sọ pé lọ mú ewúro báyìí, lọ mú ewúro báyìí, lọ mú egbò, lọ mú ewé báyìí. Gbogbo eléyìí pọ̀. Kidney yẹn ó máa wà restore. Because wọ́n ti throw gbogbo àṣà àti òrìṣà wa, wọ́n ti throw ẹ̀, wọ́n ti sọnù. Agbára dẹ̀ wà nínú òòṣà wa àti òrìṣà wa. Problem ta ní nìyẹn o nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Koiki ní gbọ́dọ̀ sọ fún ẹ bí wọ́n ṣe ń attack me every night. Wọ́n ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe, ṣùgbọ́n bó ṣe ń ṣe tọ́n báyìí tí súnmi kan ẹnu ògiri o. Mo ti ní èmi ò ní àtọ́n bá súnmi kan ẹnu ògiri. Wà láìdáláì súnmọ́ bí láì. Kò ní cost mi ní 1 penny. Ìgbẹ́ àti igi ni màá fi rẹ́yìn wọn. Mo ń sọ fún wọn ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ tó máa lọ sí ìgbẹ́ àti igi tí màá fi rẹ́yìn wọn ò ní wọn mọ̀. Àṣà àti òrìṣà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tèmi inherit nìyẹn. Ó wà ń bẹ̀. Mo sì bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ní Àkúrẹ́ lánàá pé wọ́n ní wọ́n lọ ń rí màálù mọ́lẹ̀ torí títẹ̀ ní. Ó ní àwọn pípọ̀ yẹn wọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ní wọ́n waste time ara wọn because wọn ò mọrú òòṣà tó ń bá deal. Ṣùgbọ́n òòṣà ẹ̀mí jẹ̀lẹ̀ òòṣà a máa láti clean. Ṣùgbọ́n mi òòṣà ó máa láti clean. Tó bá jẹ́ pé òrìṣà omi ni, omi ò lọ́ta. Òòṣà omi àti òòṣà afẹ́fẹ́ òun ni mo sọ fún wọn pé mo fẹ́ fi bá wọn jà lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà. Eré náà pè kò ń ṣe eré. omi àti afẹ́fẹ́ ni mo ti determine pé kò sí aláya ẹni náà màá fi bá wọn jà because mi ì jẹ́ gbì mi ì dẹ́gba lọ́wọ́ anybody. Wọ́n ti da ilẹ̀ káàárọ̀ òjìrè ti dàrú.
So in a mess. Total mess.
Èmi ti rí pọ́n fẹ́ mo ti rí pọ́n ti dàrú ìgbà tó fẹ́ dàrú mo dẹ̀ sọ fún gbogbo àwọn tó wà nínú ìjà yìí pé wọ́n máa da gbogbo everything wò. Wọ́n máa dàrú ní rí ojútùú yín. Wọn believe me. Let me tell you. Tó bá yá lọ mark nǹkan tí mò ń sọ yìí sílẹ̀. Professor Banji Akintoye wọ́n ti dàrú. Kò ní agbára yẹn. Wọ́n ti da gbogbo everything rú. Gani Adams kò ní agbára yẹn. Wọ́n ti da gbogbo ẹ̀rù. Èmi dẹ̀ ti rí tí mo ti sọ pé wọ́n dà yín rú. Any problem ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá o. Any problem means tó bá jẹ́ pé lórí show ẹ màá fóònì mi ní fóònì on another show láti sọ̀rọ̀ I will phone in on your show. Wọ́n ti da ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rú. Nǹkan tó fi da ilẹ̀ Yorùbá rú ẹ̀mọ tán lọ ń rì mọ́lẹ̀ torí ti tèmi wọ́n waste time ara wọn because ẹran tán lọ rì mọ́lẹ̀ kò lè ràn mí. Àwọn tó máa ràn àwọn tẹ́ran yẹn tó máa mú gbogbo wọn lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan pọ̀ kò ń ṣe èmi o. Mo dẹ̀ ń sọ fún wọn pé kò ń ṣe èmi lẹ́ran tán lọ rì mọ́lẹ̀ ló máa mú no sir. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ lábẹ́lẹ̀ àwọn Fúlàní wọ́n ń ṣe mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń ṣe bàbá iṣẹ́ ní abẹ́lẹ̀. Wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ gan. Wọ́n ń pe iṣẹ́ sí ẹran sí ikùn ẹran màlúù. Tẹ́ bá mọ̀ ẹ tètè lọ mọ̀ wọ́n ń pe iṣẹ́ sí ikùn màlúù wọ́n dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ̀ lóye. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ ni? Ṣé ẹran tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa pèsè sí ara ẹ̀? Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ẹ mọ̀ kankan ẹ̀yin pípù yìí tẹ́lẹ̀ ń ja ìjà tẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ ja ìjà pẹ́ fẹ́ gba ìjà ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ lérò pé wàsá ni wọ́n máa sàsí Banji Akintoye wọ́n sàsí gbogbo everybody wọ́n sàsí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ fẹ́ ja ìjà yìí. Mo ti wọ́n gbogbo everybody pé ẹ lérò pé ẹ rẹ́dì ẹ tí rẹ́dì o tẹ́ bá rẹ́dì mo sọ fún èèyàn kan mi ní dárúkọ ẹni yẹn lára àwọn tó jẹ́ pé ẹ mọ̀ ni tó ń ṣe stream tó ń ṣe show mo pe ẹni yẹn tó bá máa gbọ́ mi á mọ̀ pé mo bá wọn sọ mo ní ìwọ tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ǹjẹ́ o ti bọ ayé o ti lọ bọ ayé olóhùn ò tí bọ ayé pé èmi ni màá bá wọn bọ ayé mo ní láyé wọn fọmọ rẹ̀ bọ rẹ̀ mi lè bẹ bọ ayé oní bàbá àtìyá sọ fún bàbá àtìyá ẹ wọn lọ bẹ bọ ayé lára ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ǹjọ́ ń ṣe stream náà ni mi ní dárúkọ ẹni yẹn. That was a private conversation. Ẹni yẹn bá tún gbọ́
a mọ̀ pé òun ni mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ pa òun. Ṣé gbogbo yín tẹ gbé orí jáde tẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ yìí ṣe ti bọ ayé, ṣé ti bá yín bọ ayé, iṣẹ́ ayé òun lè ń ṣe, ṣe ti bọ ẹ̀ tí bọ ẹ gbórí síta, wọ́n máa sàsí yín. Any problem nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Because tí wọn ò bá sàsí yín, táwọn ọ̀tá tí wọn ò bá sàsí yín, àwọn tó wà nínú yín wọ́n á sàsí yín. Ṣé nísìnyí Rasak Arógundádé àti Gani Adams ṣé wọn ò sàsí wọn ni? Wọ́n ti sàsí wọn ọ̀rẹ́, wọ́n ti sàsí wọn. Wọ́n ti dàárín wọn rú. That is number one. Number two, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń jà ìjà òmìnira ìpè agbára wa, wọ́n ti sàsí gbogbo yín. Oh, they stop and it is on. Ṣé ti bọ ayé is the question. Ṣé ti bọ ayé, ẹ fẹ́ ṣàfù ayé. Níbo lẹ ti já wá? Ẹ tí gbé nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ gbé fún ayé, kẹ́ lọ gbé fún ayé. Ẹ wá lẹ fẹ́ ja ìjà òmìnira. Èmi ò mọ bí Professor Banji Akintoye bó ṣe solid tó. We dey go into that area o. Ṣùgbọ́n bàbá Awólọ́wọ̀ tó jẹ́ ọ̀gá gbogbo everybody ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ó bọ ayé. Kí ni mo sọ? Awólọ́wọ̀ bọ ayé. Ṣé Banji Akintoye bọ ayé? Is Banji Akintoye working in unison with the way Awolowo loved Yoruba land? We have to ask. He's the leader. I'm not taking that away from him. But I have a problem. And truth has to be spoken. And I will speak the truth. I don't want to be associated with anybody. I repeat, Koiki, I don't want to be associated with Yoruba World Congress, Ilana Modua, or anyone. I am who I am. I don't want to be associated with any of them because they are bloody, flipping useless. I will say it as it is. Yoruba World Congress, rubbish. Ilana Modua, rubbish. All of them, rubbish. Because they are not truthful. Gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, òun ló jẹ́ kó lọ pa ọba yẹn. Ọba tó dẹ̀ pa yìí, ọba yìí tó pa yìí. Wọ́n máa pa a lot of more obas. This is just the beginning. Go and mark my word. Wọ́n máa pa a lot more obas in Yoruba land. This is the beginning of the slaughtering. And this is now bringing me down to that area. Is it Muhammadu Buhari in Aso Rock? Buhari cannot be alive and then see this happening.
Big question.
Any problem? He address problem you. They ask, where is Aisha Buhari? Why is Aisha Buhari not talking to the husband? Aisha, why is Aisha not talking to the husband to address the problem of the country? Because she knows. Gowon knows the problem of the country. Obasanjo knows the problem. Problem to one lay. Ni olórí ó ti kú. Mo máa sọ ní Yorùbá. Ó ti kú, kò sí ní ayé. Kí ló dé tí Aisha ò ṣe sọ̀rọ̀? Everybody is up here. Frank Bello is a fake news. But when you think women fake news, tough. Do I care that you call me fake news? No, I don't care. I will continue to hammer in until truth comes out. And when truth comes out, Buhari died today. Don't believe it. He died long time. One frame, the president died towards 2023. Any president.
Okay.
You don't have any president. They know. Obasanjo knows. Gowon knows. But they are hiding the secret and the fact that a British parliamentarian came up to expose Gowon. Gowon lo introduce $1 on each barrel. She believe me, she believe me. She will believe me, believe me. Òyìnbó wá ń sọ, ẹ wá ń jà, tí mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń bọ̀. A lot more is coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, that was a very powerful one there from Frank Bello. I'm sure a lot of you know him as well. Let's go straight. Still got a few more calls coming through. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hey, Carol.
Carol Koyekiba, how are you?
I'm very well.
Koyeke, I really want to commend you for the job you are doing.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
I'm telling you this. This is very early in the morning, and I'm saying it quietly. Your Obas has offended the people who they are supposed to be protecting and the God that they are supposed to be worshiping. As long as they haven't done the right thing, they are like the Okonkwo. You remember that book, Okonkwo?
Okonkwo, yeah.
The man who killed the boy that called him father.
Yeah.
this is what is happening to them. Not shiri.
Kasa shimbo.
Kasa. Let me support Frank Bello. I'm telling you, if they don't start running now, it's not only what happened to this Oba of Ifon. That is, this is not the last they're gonna hear. One by one, all the Obas will be going one by one because they have taken what belongs to the God. And they are using black clothes. You know, when you use black clothes to cover your gods, I'm sure you know what is going to happen. And that's what Obas have done. Have got power anymore. Because somebody like that Oba that is killed, if he had the power, he would have destroyed those who want to give in.
Straight away.
But because of they don't have the power anymore. One by one, they've lost their right of power. I am telling you this. From whichever Oba in Yoruba land, all those things you see, sometimes they come, they do ceremonial, this thing, saying one Porisha. This ceremonial, they haven't done the right thing. Or shall not put hand into bad things. The God don't want them to put hand into bad things or collect money by the back. But all of them have done it. So how do you think the Osha or the God is going to protect them? Because all of them have collected from the back and they will die from the back. That is why anybody who knows them now should start telling them this is their, the remaining ones, this is their opportunity to do the right thing. And Bello was saying about why is Aisha not talking? Aisha talking, she cannot talk. She's afraid of her life and her children, her family life. A lot of our leaders, they know that Buhari is no longer there. But do you think they're going to talk? They know the moment they talk, even the pastors, I'm telling you, when they finish from the Obas, they will start with the pastors, those who call themselves pastors. Those who are true pastors will survive it. Those fake pastors, they will kill them. The same thing is going to happen to the Obas and the Ezes in Igbo land. Those who are the true Ezes, who does the right thing, will survive it. Those who have sucked their hand into the blood of innocent people, Osha will never protect you for doing that. Osha that I know will never protect them for doing that. Protect them as long as those who are going to be protected are those whose hands are clean. But when you look at the Obas one by one, which one of them is clean? You can tell me their hands are clean. The children that they are supposed to be protected in their lands are dying, are being killed. No good school, no good road, no essential amenities. When you think Osha is supposed to protect innocent people. But what about the people who you call the Obas are not protecting the innocent people that under them? You think Osha is going to protect them? They have got no Osha with them. All of them have lost their rights and they're going down one by one. From there, then the pastors will start again. The only one, like I repeat to you, who are going to survive it is the ones whose hands are clean. So forward them, they start looking back and see who will share. They will start doing the right thing before it's too late for them. We are not crying for any one of them because, do you know, all of just run out of the country.
Oh, yes.
All those others are supposed to be the one controlling the governors. Whereby the governors are now the one controlling them. Before, we used to hear in Yoruba land, they say, Oba Balori Dobonko. But now, it is the governors that ballet on top of them. And you think the Osha is going to protect them? I'm sorry, they're all going down one by one, except the ones that their hands are clean. Except the ones that their hands are clean are going to survive it. But the ones that hands are not clean, they are all going down one by one. But I'm saying to you, this is what I see that is going to happen to every one of them who have soaked their hands in the innocent blood, who have eaten where they are not supposed to eat, who have taken where they are not supposed to take.
Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí èyí tí ẹ ṣe darapọ̀ mọ́ wa, a máa yà yín lẹ́nu pé ṣé intenka lórí screen yẹn ṣé tòótọ́ ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó ti di in tí wọ́n ti kọ sínú ìwé. Ṣé rí àwòrán tẹ́ ń wò lẹ́yìn mi yẹn? 11-year-old boy. Ṣé rí wàhálà tó ń ṣe? 11-year-old. Can you see it behind me? That is an 11-year-old boy in the Yoruba land. Ló ń ro pọ́npọ́n, ló ń ṣe pọ́npọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ó ń ṣiṣẹ́ àgbàlagbà, ọmọ 11 years old in the Yoruba land. We've talked about the kidnapping. Is it the king that will be the first person to be kidnapped? The question you should be asking yourself is, who is the next person? Tatulokan, lẹ́yìn ọba. Who is the next person? Ẹ̀rù ń bara lé, ẹ̀rù ń bara ata. A lot of you wants to go home. There is no home. Those at home wants to run away. So you can see that we don't have a home anymore. Our home is no longer there for any one of us. Okay, imagine if the king was killed in Akure and you, as a diaspora, you want to go home and visit Akure. What is your chances that you will not have the same issue like the king that was killed? My question then is, should we wait for more miracles? So many deaths. This is another one in the Yoruba land. The blood is just too much, spilled all over the place. All the blood I'm showing you now, all happened this year during the EndSARS. Can you see the young boy lay there, no medical, nothing, is gone in the Yoruba land? The question is, who is next? I'm sure you all remember these as well. Images of the Yoruba people upset of the situation in their town. They put the anger on the police station. You can see the frustration on our people on a daily basis. How did we get to where we are? How? And what is the way out? This afternoon, my focus was on our local government and our House of Representatives yesterday. If this country is saying that a missing cat is now been found and the owner should call, how many of our people have got missing? This is the Nigeria of today, where you drive to a particular area and you have to come out of the vehicle because the car is no longer moving anywhere because it has now become a stream. How come we found ourselves where we are? Let me remind us of this video. Let me see if I can find it quickly. It is just the beginning. We don't know what will be the end. if we don't end it now. Some of us refuse to believe that the problem will come, while some knows that the problem will come. Let me play this video.
They drink, they fornicate, they do all the things that all human beings do. So it's not a question of religion. There's no question of anybody being truly a Muslim there. You know, even I knew a chief judge who was supposed to be leading Muslim prayers, who anytime they came to me in my official residence, would put brandy or whiskey in a mug and they'd be drinking and they would smoke and all that. So I don't think it's religion. When they started this Sharia, how many of them are obeying the Sharia? How many of them? No, not none of their leaders. So it's not religion per se, but they use religion to deceive people and say, Hausas were not Muslims at all. So they say, well, let's give you a superior religion, we'll give you Islam. But that didn't apply to the South because we've had Muslims in Yoruba land even before 14th century.
So truly what we are fighting against, or what is going on, is clash of culture.
And civilizations.
And civilizations.
That's right.
Not really the Fulani versus the Igbo or the Fulani versus the Yoruba.
No.
It's clash of civilizations.
Yes, clash of civilizations and clash of cultures. Yes, you're right.
That means we have not really integrated as a people.
Never. We have never been.
So the word the Nigerian people is a fallacy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because, again, in those days, you will say there have always been Igbo markets, Hausa markets in Enugu. There have always been Sabos in Shagamu. But those Sabos were occupied by Hausas. Hausas are peaceful people. We traded in Kolanod. We did even the few Fulanis that came with them at that time, when you had the Sabo in Shagamu or in Ibadan here, they would still look for one Fulani man and make him their Seriki.
How did the Hausa accept
they were subdued. They were subdued.
Despite their large number.
Yes, they were subdued. Of course, they killed, they ruined, they extirpated their 7 kingdoms. They killed their 7 rulers and took over under the guise of religion. Another thing they used.
Pause that a little bit. You heard what Chief Tola Adeniyi said, so that the Fulani killed the Obas of the Hausas. Are they making their way down to southwest? Or are we just saying this because maybe we want to break away from Nigeria? Let's hear the remaining part of this interview. You've watched it before, but the job of the media is to remind you that so many people have said so many things, but we gladly believe because in our inner heart, we are thinking that it's not going to happen. This of the killing of the king was in a Yoruba land yesterday in Akure, in Omondo State. I'm sure you'll be waking up shocked, or maybe not shocked, because you know, but we were only deceiving ourselves as if it was never going to happen to our king. Who is the next victim? Let's finish up this interview with Chief Tola Adeniyi.
They use the word corruption. Oh, your people are corrupt. We are saints. Your people are corrupt. You've always used the word corruption to deceive people.
But the jihad is over. How come the Hausa man is yet to claim that Hausaness again?
It's just now that the efforts we are making in the south have begun to yield fruits. You will be surprised to hear that now in Hausa land, we now have Hausa Christians. Never had that before. Never. You now have Middle Belt Forum that are saying we are not northerners, we are middle belters. We are not northerners. Don't call us northerners. Now when you see a Jukun man or you see a Lantan man and you say you are Hausa or you are Fulani, he will be angry. He may even draw his dagger. Don't call me Fulani. I'm not Fulani. I'm not Hausa. What we did not know until recently is that when you call a Fulani man Hausa, he will be angry. He will say Banzani. Because he knows that I'm superior to Hausa. Can you say I'm Hausa? But before now, before Buhari came to establish his suzerainty over Nigeria, we lumped all of them together. We're northerners. And like I wrote some 4 years ago, there's no North. There's no North that we used to know. The North is dead. There's nothing called North anymore.
So there's a Fulani now standing on his own.
It's standing on its own. There's no more North. If they try any war today, oh God of mercy. The kind of cohesion you had in the army, the military in 1966, will never happen again in this country, if there is a country at all. You will not find a Hausa soldier now, an Igbo soldier going to Enugu to kill a fellow Igbo. You will not even find an Igbo soldier coming to Ibadan to kill a Yoruba man, or a Yoruba soldier going to Enugu to kill an Igbo man. It will not happen again. So the Lantan people, the Benue people will never ever allow themselves to be used by any Fulani mischief maker.
So if I'm getting you right, your argument is that the Fulani hegemony has been broken.
Dead.
If the Fulani hegemony has been broken,
yes,
does it mean that the social structure of Nigeria is about to witness a very hard hit that will lead to a new Nigeria?
Yes, for those who agree with you to the extent of the fact that there are still some people who want a Nigeria, a group that I don't belong to. But for such people, yes, with the weakening of Fulani hegemony, there could be a Nigeria that will integrate the Soba Fulanis, the town Fulanis, and still reconstruct, rebuild, and then have a Nigeria that should be. But I, as a person, as Tola Adeni, believe that it will take probably 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person.
Did you hear that? It will take 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person. And these are the people that you want us to live with. So when our generation have gone, see generation, we will then wait for another 1,000 years generation before we can even think of changing a Fulani. Oh, you think that they cannot invade us? But our king in Ondo State, in the Yoruba land, was killed just like that. Just like that. You heard what Chief Tola Adeni said. But in 1,000 years, a multi-thousand years mean. So that means it's not this generation, it's not the next generation. 1,000 years is about so many years. Our grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, she died at the age of 90. That means, let's give and take, she was 100. She's gone. Iye tó bí màmá ẹ̀, òun náà pé 100, ó ti lọ, ó di 200 years. Iye tó wá bí màmá ẹ̀, màmá tiẹ̀ náà ti ń lọ bí 100 nísìn, ó di 300. Màmá tiẹ̀ náà tún wá bí wọ, ó di kíni, ìwọ náà bá pé 100, ó di 400. Ọmọ tèmi náà bá tún bí, tó bá pé 100, ó di 500. Ọmọ tọ́mọ tèmi náà bá tún bí, tó bá pé 100, ó di 600. Can you now see how that generation, and even after that 1,000 years, you cannot change the Fulani mindset. Even after the 1,000 years. Remember, we've been trying to manage them from the your great-great-grandmother. I've given you like 4 generations before your mother. Mama to be mama, to be mama, koto koma 4 generations. Koto di pewo biwo, you want a 5th generation. So let's say I am the 5th generation. And that means I have to wait for the 6th generation. And we cannot guarantee that we can change the Fulani mindset. Do you know why? Because they are not ready to integrate. Let's finish up the video.
Whose philosophy is kill, maim, rape, send away people from their land and let me occupy it.
That is the bush Fulani.
It is the bush Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
And the town Fulani is more in number.
No! The town Fulani is less than 1%.
How did you get that figure?
Oh, go and find out. Let them allow. Let them allow. It says, what the town Fulani? There are very few. The ones who have in Abuja, or the few that dot spaces.
say good morning to my beautiful mother. I have to ask how many generation is me before my mom. Somebody just said yes, 10th and the 15th generation. Good morning, mother. I can see my mom. She also awake with us on this broadcast. A very good morning to you. Chief Tola Adeniyi is explaining in 2020 it will take 1,000 years, but I have cut it back before it's become 1,000 years. That means their generation, the ministry, they are only number 6. You understand? So if my generation is number 6, that means actually number 4 more generation, another 400 years. Catholic, so Fulani, let's talk to you now. Ẹ can integrate you now. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ẹ má dẹran káàkiri sóko lóko. Do you know that the Fulani are not interested in that? That is what Chief Tola Adeniyi was telling us. So if our great-great-grandparents have managed them, ìgbà wo ni bàbá wa Chief Awolowo ti kú? Ask how many generations have come after Chief Awolowo. Has anything changed? It is like changing the mindset of a suicide bomber. That's what somebody said here. Mama Mary Iyabo said, I am tired of all this talk. It is annoying. It is action we need now. These people just keep annoying me more. Trigger the bear. Let's finish the video. After this video, I will then prepare you for another video. Remember what the CBN, the Deputy Governor of the Selma CBN, told us, that they would deal with us from the rural area before they come out into the city. Ṣé mọ̀ pé ní rural area ló ti pa kábíyèsí nísìn? Níbo l'Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wà? Why is all our kings ká tẹ̀ sọ pé tradition ò ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́? Let's assume now that we don't have any more tradition. Kò sógun kankan tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ mọ́. Let's put that on the side. What about the Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn? Tó o bá tẹ̀lé fún kábíyèsí ní proper security. Ṣé gómìnà tún gbọ́dọ̀? So this Aketi that was displaying all this Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, remember he was displaying Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn for us before the election. So gbogbo yẹn Sakama and Jenny. Let's listen more to the final bit of this video.
In Sokoto, I'm sure that that Sokoto, as we speak, is not a Fulani town.
Is it not?
No, that's a mistake we make. Zamfara is not a Fulani town. There are more houses in Zamfara than Fulani. There are more houses in Kano than Fulani.
But the Fulani govern.
They are in town. They are in charge.
Yes, so it's their town.
Yes. By subterfuge, by cunning, by crookedness, by all sorts of gimmickry.
Or by integration.
Not integration, by intimidation. And I said they are politically savvy. What they did to the rest of Nigeria, when they realized that the Fulani in the military, they could no longer use the military to retain power indefinitely. Since they've had power, they had access to the treasury, they say, oh yes, Edmond is from the east, or wherever, brilliant man. He may likely oppose us and contest with us and rival us. Let's make him an ambassador. Let's give him.
Is that not what they've done? They've used the same Yoruba people, the Igbo, the other tribes, to say, let's give you a position, party government. You all know that. They gave MK Abiola, that influence. He becomes so stinking rich. You probably are not able to even know any of his industry. They're probably using Dangote as an example as well. They probably use another Igbo man to front. Why? They suppress us and they continue to come in like a snake, ready to conquer. Oh, but you don't believe now. You don't want to believe because you are not the victim. And one more banisi, one masukun, Iyawoba amasukun. These again, let me remind you, this was only this year when the king was still celebrating. No, not this video. I had a video ready earlier on. Let me play this while I get that video ready. No, let's come back here. Let's continue to watch this while I prepare the next video.
Let's make him a billionaire. We padlock his mouth. Let's get an Abiola. Make him a billionaire. Let's get this. Let's get that. And make them big.
Is that not what I said? Let's get somebody like MK Abiola, give him so much money. Now, they make MK Abiola so much stinking rich. Our mama dawo kakiri, adawo si mashalashi, adawo si school, adawo si that. Eventually, I'm not a padà pa. Nígbà tó rí pé ó dà ń pé ẹsẹ̀ tó fi máa gbé yẹn, àfẹ́ kó gbérú ẹsẹ̀ yẹn. We don't want you to take those steps, MK Abiola. We love you so much, but we don't want you. You are now becoming too strong and powerful for us. Let's take you away. Is that not the same thing they're still doing? And they will do more.
They will never be able to look us in the face. Then we can continue. Looting the treasury, we can continue. And once when we are in control of the treasury, we are in control of everywhere. So we can hire thugs. We can do whatever we would like. And that is why they introduced what I call plutocracy into Nigerian political etymology. Plutocracy.
Meaning?
Plutocracy is the government of the rich. Oligarchy is the government of the muscle man.
Once again, a very good morning if you've just joined us. Let's watch a bit. May his soul rest in peace. This was only in April this year when he was having a kind of celebration. I'm talking about the late king. Let's watch that video just for a few seconds, and then I will then bring you the video to remind you of what the former deputy governor, Dr. Obadia, told us. Again, this year, this 2020, everything is like miracle to you. Everything is not real because for you, it's not going to happen. Tọ́ba sọ fún kábíyèsí pé àwọn máa fi kidnappers ló máa pa kábíyèsí. Ẹ̀yin náà ti tutù ẹ̀ dànù. Ifá ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Where is all the oracle? Ibo ni Ifá gan wà? Ṣé Ifá ò sí nínú kábíyèsí àfin kábíyèsí mọ́ ni? What has gone wrong with our tradition? Now, how do we find the killers? They've gone back into the bush. Who is the next person? Are you? Me? I don't know. We're probably going to get the news again that somebody has been killed. But for now, let's watch